Stop! Stop there! You! You up there! Stop!
There you are, you're under arrest! Do not move! All doors are closed! There you are, you're under arrest!
What?
Gestapo. I'm in the army.
Why?
You can make your statements at headquarters.
We have classes.
What's this all about?
You can do that at headquarters. Come with us, please. Let's go.
You here?
Yes, sir.
How many?
2. For the moment.
Trouble?
I don't... No, sir.
I mean, did they resist arrest?
No.
You're not certain?
They did not resist arrest, no.
Witnesses?
Yeah, the caretaker at the university, sir.
Evidence?
Just the leaflets at present.
Circumstances?
They were seen dropping the leaflets from the first landing into the main hall.
And?
And they were arrested.
By the janitor.
By a citizen's arrest, yes. This is what they were passing around. Students, the German people look to us to break the National Socialist terror through the power of the spirit.
The what?
The power of the spirit. We have a check on their Aryan ancestry.
They look more Aryan than Kaiser Frederick the Great.
Nevertheless, it's been my experience...
This wouldn't be another embarrassing mistake, would it, Mala?
Their father, a Robert Scholl, has been arrested on at least one occasion for expressing himself in unflattering terms against the Fuhrer.
What did he say?
Something to do with livestock.
Well, we're only investigating the individuals in question, Mala. I'm not interested in the prison records of their relatives.
Sir, I've been sent from Berlin just to take care of...
I've only had this job a week. Do I already need supervision?
Not at all, sir. I am just here to assist.
And to write reports?
Sir?
Berlin likes reports. Do you like reports, Mala? It's good to have an affinity for that sort of thing.
Reports.
Paperwork. Mala, I was promoted because I've been a good policeman for 25 years. I know my job.
That's a relief, sir. Bavarian Gestapo needs
What?
Tightening up.
Why don't you bring me the girl first?
They're odd, sir.
Odd?
Schmidt said that they...
Schmidt?
The janitor.
Ah.
He said they did it quite openly. They were not trying to hide.
Then they've confessed.
Not at all. They deny everything. And they seem unusually calm.
I want to take a look at them.
I assure you, sir,
I want to take a look at them. More speaking. Which newspaper? Put him through. Yes, Heil Hitler. Yes, an arrest. The Minister of Propaganda has not authorized a statement at the moment. Pending investigation, yes. We have no doubts as to the press's loyalty to the Reich, Herr Mayor. As you well know, we release information on all treason cases. Well, there hasn't been a hell of a lot going on lately. Certainly, I'll keep you posted. Heil. Yes. Come in. Name?
Sophie Scholl,
Age?
21,
Occupation?
student at the University of Munich.
What you study?
Biology and philosophy.
I thought girls went for literature courses.
Oh, I read a lot of
What?
things. Whatever is allowed.
Love-
Available.
Love stories and such?
Yes.
Do you know what you're accused of?
Something about some leaflets?
You are suspected of co-authoring and distributing a pair of pamphlets hostile in the extreme to the Führer, the Reich, and the German war effort.
Goodness.
These pamphlets are naturally anonymous and are signed the White Rose.
I know nothing about it, sir.
What were you doing in school? You have no classes today, according to your schedule here.
We decided to go home tonight. To Ulm. We had to let some friends know. Do you think we'll be able to catch the 5 o'clock train, sir? If not, I have to call home.
You suddenly decided to go to Ulm? Why?
Oh, Mother, you know how it is.
And your entire luggage consists of an empty suitcase?
What?
When you were arrested, you were carrying an empty suitcase.
Oh, for the laundry.
The laundry?
Yes, Mother does our laundry and we pick it up from her. Hans never washes his own clothes. Disgusting.
Yes. Well, Sophie, is it?
Yes, sir. Sophia Magdalena Scholl.
Sophie, do you know the contents of the pamphlets in question?
Well, I've seen them around. Everybody has, so I have an idea.
And you know what they say?
Well, I believe they call the Führer a charlatan and, well, a mass murderer and a
yes.
gangster and
That's not what I...
human. Let's see.
There's no need to be specific. I'm talking about the political implications of the ideas expressed.
Politics? I don't know anything about politics.
No?
Church bells. Outside. I love them.
Oh, they give me a headache.
He wanted to see Matilda Schwarzkopf.
Pardon?
Hans, he wanted to see Matilda Schwarzkopf.
Matilda Schwarzkopf?
Our youth group leader a few years ago.
Hitler Youth?
Of course. Both my brother and I were group leaders. She's no better than she should be, if you ask me. She went over to the boys' camp after ours.
I see.
Everybody knows Matilda Schwarzkopf in Ulm.
I imagine
It's
they
not
do.
as if she's pretty or anything. I mean, she has an altogether alarming underbite.
Indeed.
Of course, she's a blonde, and that's a plus.
Yes, yes.
So there I am, stuck at home for the whole weekend while Hans visits with old Horseface over there.
I see.
I've better things to do with my life.
Of course.
Lots of homework. The romantic poetry.
Naturally. Good. Would you step out for a moment?
Outside?
Yes. Bauer! Escort Fräulein Scholl to the anteroom for a moment. How are you doing with the boy?
He is uncommonly eager to talk about glass painting, Aristotle, and theodicy. What in hell is theodicy?
Well, whatever it is, it's got to be better than the laundry in Matilda Schwarzkopf.
Beg pardon?
We do not seem to be on a fruitful path here, Mala.
Sir, we have a material witness.
We're going to need a hell of a lot more than that. These are young Aryan individuals of some standing and visibility. The boys in the army. Come in.
I looked up theodicy for Herr Mahler. It means vindication of divine providence in view of the existence of evil.
Some other time, Bauer.
The janitor, the Schmidt individual, saw them. He looked up when he saw the leaflets, and he saw them.
He looked up into the light and thinks he saw them. And there's a 3,000 mark reward that wouldn't do Herr Schmidt's pocket any harm.
There is enough evidence to convict...
North Africa lost 300,000 dead in Stalingrad. People are angry. That boy's been on the Russian front.
It is precisely because of Stalingrad that Berlin wants these pamphlets stopped. The people's morale is in dire jeopardy.
The people's morale will not be improved, I assure you, if we wrongfully arrest a war veteran. A medic, no less. Look at these records. And a Girl Scout. Based on the word of a Herr Schmidt.
Girl Scout.
Both Scholls were leading members of the Hitler Youth. You people are in too much of a hurry. You don't read reports. I want to send them home.
Sir, Berlin is in...
This is Munich, Herr Mahler. I am in charge here.
The circulation of these pamphlets has been extensive. They have reached Austria. Sir, as a representative of the Reich Minister of Justice, I must impress upon you we need an arrest.
But you've had arrest on this case, Mahler. 5 in the past 2 months, to be precise. All mistakes. Last time, it was 2 octogenarian spinsters from Hamburg who turned out to be related to General Rommel. One of them claiming to be the Grand Duchess Anastasia.
At this point, sir, even they would do.
Those are not methods I approve.
New ideas require new methods, Herr Moore.
Bauer! I don't know anything about ideas. I'm a police investigator. I don't like investigations to blow up in my face. Bring me the Scholl boy. I won't be needing you, Mahler. Name?
Hans Scholl.
Age?
25.
Occupation?
Sergeant in the 2nd Student Medical Company, Munich University.
Do you know why you're here?
Some misunderstanding about printing in politics.
Does the name The White Rose mean anything to you?
Not really. No.
On the day of your arrest, that is today, February 18th, 1943, Jakob Schmidt, caretaker at the university, states that he saw you and your sister Sophia scatter several hundred pieces of paper from the first landing of the central staircase into the main hall. The contents of these things is highly radical material, and it's signed The White Rose. Does that refresh your memory?
There must be some mistake. Herr Schmidt is notoriously nearsighted.
You served as a medic in France and Russia?
I am a medical student. I am a very bad shot.
Your father seems to have done the same thing in World War I.
We're, traditional family.
You have a brother in the Eastern Front.
Werner, yes. Good soldier. Decorated several times.
I see. And your father was the mayor of several small towns.
Yes, my father is
What?
very civically minded.
I've heard. That paper you tore up when you
Look,
were...
somebody in the crowd pushed it in my hand, and I thought it might be incriminating. What with all that red rose business and all.
White.
Pardon?
It's the white rose.
Oh. I thought it would be red. Being leftist propaganda.
It's not exactly leftist.
No.
There's a lot of twaddle about God in these leaflets.
God. In this day and age,
But Mala tells me you're somewhat interested in God.
interested?
You've taken a course in theodicy or some such thing?
Oh, that. It was part of a required course in philosophy.
Do you believe in God?
It's rather an excessive idea, don't you think?
That paper you tore up when you were arrested, we put it back together again. It contains defeatist ideas about the war and the Fuhrer's military capabilities. It proposes Franklin Delano Roosevelt as an ideal leader.
Well then, it must have been one of those red rose people put in my hand.
White?
What?
It's white rose?
Right.
I understand you were planning to go to Ulm today.
Yes. Home for the weekend. Pick up some clean clothes. My sister doesn't do her own laundry. Disgraceful.
Yes, well.
Actually, I'm seeing a girl there.
Would that be a Matilda Schwarzkopf?
You know Matilda?
Certainly I don't know Matilda. Fräulein Schwarzkopf. Look, I'd like you to step outside for a moment. Bauer will get you some coffee, or what passes for it these days. Bauer! Fräulein Schrader, get me Herr Mahler at once. See that Scholl here has water or coffee or whatever he needs.
Coffee, sir?
Yes, Bauer. You know coffee from beans? Where's that report on the house search?
The search is still in progress, Armand. So far, nothing much.
Nothing much. I'm going to give you another 15 minutes and I'm sending them home. This is a ridiculous waste of time. Hello? Oh, Heil Hitler. Oh, hello, dear. Oh, nothing much? Well, actually, I'm discussing people's laundry. And an unattractive young woman of apparently easy virtue called Matilda Schwarzkopf from Ulm. Tonight? Well, let me see. No, 8 o'clock will be fine. The Millers? But that frightening child always bangs out the Moonlight Sonata after dinner. Well, certainly I like music, but... No, oh, very well, fine. 8 o'clock. Did you take Bismarck to the vet? Nonsense. He's never bitten anyone in his life. He just doesn't like red-headed people, that's all. By the way, I can't find my pocket watch. The good one. Well, I did. I put it away for safety. I just can't remember where, that's all. Oh, would you? Good. Fine. Just tired. How are things at home? Good. Good. Oh, yes, the garden gate. I'll fix it over the weekend. It's not safe. No, there's nothing new. I'll talk to you later. Now, I have an important meeting at 5.
We've arrested several other students who might be able to...
Careful! We don't want another student riot like last month's. Students get nervous when their classmates are arrested erratically. We can't afford nerves just at the moment.
That would not be repeated, sir. The riot police are quite prepared for that sort of thing.
These kids are interested in being home for dinner, and getting their laundry done by their mother, I might add, and visiting a young woman with an unimpressive jawline. If not fundamentally dim, they're at best unimaginative. They didn't write those silly pamphlets.
Do you consider those pamphlets harmless, sir?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, listen to the tone of those things. The rantings of some religious fanatic or a crackpot academic.
They've been found everywhere. Schools, churches, public transportation, factories, theaters.
Who's going to read them? People don't read. They go to the movies. Nobody reads. I'm sending them home. Come in.
It's from the investigators searching the shuttle quarters, sir. Here's the report.
Well.
Yes?
They found some stamps.
Stamps?
Postage stamps.
Let me understand this. We're about to accuse those innocuous young people of high treason, among other things. And our chief piece of solid evidence are some postage stamps found in their living quarters.
Several hundred postage stamps of the same denomination used by the White Rose to mail their last leaflets. Shall we begin indictment proceedings, sir?
Nothing is so uncivilized for a nation as allowing itself to be ruled by an irresponsible gang that operates on base instinct. The White Rose, Munich, summer 1942.
Freedom and honor. This bloodbath has opened the eyes of even the stupidest German. The name of Germany is dishonored for all time if German youth does not finally rise. The White Rose, Munich, summer 1942.
We yearn for the light in the midst of blackest night. The White Rose, 1942.
Every word from Hitler's mouth is a lie. The White Rose, 1942.
The day of reckoning has come. The reckoning of German youth with the most abominable tyranny our people have ever endured.
In the name of German youth.
We demand restitution by Adolf Hitler's state of our personal freedom.
The most precious treasure that we have.
Of which he has robbed us.
In the most brutal way. The White Rose, Munich, 1942.
It is a moral duty to put an end to this system.
We will not be silent. We are your bad conscience. The White Rose will not leave you in peace.
Turn it down! Sophie, the landlady! It's decadent enemy music!
She only comes up when Willie plays his violin. Oh, she thinks we're tormenting her cat.
Nobody here appreciates good music.
We do. We're selling your fiddle.
Ha ha ha, laugh, laugh. They laughed at Paganini, too.
Hey! Anybody here for baby pictures?
Chris Chris, they've grown so much. They're beautiful.
Fine head of hair on that kid.
That's the dog. This is the kid. And here's the other one. Perfect. New tooth.
Perfect.
They look like you.
No, too pretty.
They look like their mother.
The dog looks like you.
What kind of dog is it?
Don't know. We found him.
This dog must be put under investigation.
Check the dog.
Check the dog and its parents.
Grandparents.
Great-grandparents.
Religion.
Bloodline.
Papers.
Sexual habits.
Bathroom habits.
Eating habits.
Any habits.
This dog is not Aryan.
How can you tell, sir?
Because it's not blonde.
Like Hitler.
Or tall.
Like Goebbels.
Or slender.
Like Gehring.
This dog is of mixed blood. And it's been fixed.
A eunuch.
A eunuch.
A eunuch.
Take it away.
Take the owner, too.
Hello.
The Allies.
The Allies.
Open the door, boys and girls.
Wait. Is this, to quote Dr. Goebbels, an honest, intelligent National Socialist?
Can't be.
And why not?
Because if he's intelligent and a Nazi, he's not honest. And if he's honest and a Nazi, he's not intelligent. And if he's intelligent and honest,
He's not a Nazi!
not so loud.
Open the goddamn door.
Christ, you'll be heard halfway down the hall. What's this?
One of the finest things ever invented.
Fine, but what is it?
A printer. A duplicating machine.
Where'd you get it?
I stole it.
Well, what do you want it for?
Well, I thought I'd use it in place of my bicycle. To print things, of course.
Well, what thing?
Alex, do you want some wine?
Or I'll get another glass.
We're out. Get one from Francel downstairs.
Why, Hans?
Unfit to vanquish? Shall I meanly fly? The one of all my band that would not die.
This is hardly the time for Byron.
Oh, I don't know. It may be just the time.
We know what we think. Isn't that enough?
No!
Convictions don't change just because you can't flaunt them.
But they do. Little by little. Nothing is time-proof, especially convictions.
It's a dangerous choice.
It goes with life. Even Adam and Eve had to choose in order to become human.
To become mortal. They were human before. They weren't counting on mortality.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Are we going to sit around arguing about how many angels can go through the eye of a needle?
Camels, Billy. Camels.
What?
It's camels for the needles and angels for the pins.
I think we've had too many philosophy courses. Hans? Alex? To choice and mortality. Prost.
Hans, telephone. Female.
Now, women never call me. Why is that?
You're just too passionate a man, Billy. They're frightened.
What?
That's not what we hear from Matilda Schwarzkopf.
What? Never in a million
Or
years.
Mr. Ermengarde, for that matter.
Ermengarde? She looks like Stalin.
Never mind them, Willie. They're just jealous because you are a gentleman and they are pigs. Here you are, Alex.
Oink, oink. Oh, flesh, how art thou fishified? I have a toast.
Let's hear it, for God's sake.
Lady, gentlemen, and swine, I give you William Shakespeare,
Goethe,
Dante.
Schiller.
Lope,
Shelley.
Bertolt Brecht,
Calderon.
Heine.
Thomas Mann,
Frank Sinatra.
The printed word.
What else?
About that paper the showboy tried to destroy while he was being arrested, the handwriting matches that perfectly of a few letters we found in his room from a Christoph Probst, Innsbruck.
Contents?
Unremarkable, but the handwriting is the same. He's also a member of the armed forces, Luftwaffe, student company, a medic.
Get in contact with his superior officers at once.
There's no reason to get in touch with the military.
Surely you realize this is an awkward time to be arresting members of the armed forces, Mala, without proper procedure.
Now, the girl is not...
Oh, please, a mousy 20-year-old, not too terribly bright as far as I can see, who would parrot anything her brother says. We'll put her to work in a munitions factory.
It is not that simple, Herr Moore.
I'm making it that simple here, Mala. I'm a very busy man.
Sophie, what are you doing up?
Waiting.
Good. Are you hungry? We have
No.
What's the matter?
No letter from Fritz?
I don't write to Fritz anymore.
Oh, I'm glad.
Someone has been passing around a leaflet. It's very interesting. Whoever they are, they call themselves the White Rose. Imagine. My favorite flower.
Really?
It sounds like a perfume advertisement.
The Spartan code of law was based on the dangerous principle that human beings are to be considered means and not ends, thereby destroying the foundations of morality and natural law.
That's Schiller, isn't it?
I found the passage underlined in your book.
I couldn't go on just talking about it, making jokes because we feel helpless. I don't like to feel helpless. I want to take them on.
You mean we go into them just like that?
Not you, just us.
Why not me?
It's dangerous.
For you too.
We're men.
Don't worry, I'll carry smelling salts.
I don't want you in this.
Too late.
Stay out of it, Sophie.
I can't.
You mean you won't?
Can't. I can't just knuckle under.
Hubris.
Nobody asked you.
Fine.
So stay out of
Right.
this.
Aren't you afraid, Sophie?
I'm terrified. But the worst of it is, I think if I don't do something right now, I'll start going along with them.
Nonsense!
It's not. We're no better than anybody else. Fear is the worst killer of all.
We could be found out at any moment.
They won't catch us. We're smarter, we're quicker, we're younger, and we're right. They can't catch us.
I won't let you.
You used to take me everywhere with you.
Don't remind me. Me too. Me too.
Hansel!
Don't call me Hansel in front of people.
Alex is not people.
Oh, fine.
What are we going to tell Mom and Dad? I'm supposed to be looking after you.
Tell them we love them.
Don't get flippant with me, Sophie.
Then don't tell me what to do.
I'm
I'm talking to you.
No.
Do the others know?
No. And they never will. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Are you out of your minds?
We picked up Christoph Probst, sir.
What else?
We also have picked up a...
What time is it? I don't have a watch.
It's past midnight. We have picked up a Wilhelm Graf. Belongs to all sorts of Catholic groups.
Yes? Well, religious types are not dangerous.
There's a Bishop von Galen. We can't arrest him and we can't shut him up for the present.
You have great faith in the system, don't you, Mother?
Lack of faith is unpatriotic, sir, and unsafe. Sir.
I always thought faith and safety mutually exclusive. Never mind. What about the other arrest?
More of the same. Nobody knows anything. Everybody loves the show. Such a good family. So German they couldn't possibly, etc., etc. There is one girl who keeps referring us to a Professor Huber, who apparently would be willing to attest to their good character.
The theodicy professor?
He's very popular with a certain element. We're going to bring him in.
What else do we have on Probst?
24 years old, medical student. No previous arrests, married, 3 children.
3? At least Frau Probst knows her duty to the fatherland. Do you have any children, Mom?
No.
Ah. I do.
The Graf boys, also a member of the armed forces, member of the second student company at the university. Now, the girl is not...
Leave the girl to me.
Certainly, sir. I just wondered what you had...
There's nothing to wonder about, Mala. Whatever her brother may have done, I'm certain she's telling the truth. She knows nothing. Quite an ordinary girl.
Does she seem ordinary to you, sir?
Charlotte Corday doesn't exactly come to mind.
No, nothing like that, but she is so unusually calm. Does that seem ordinary to you?
That could be, because she has nothing to worry about.
Could be. Will there be anything else, sir?
Yes. Interesting as those postage stamps may be, I'm afraid they won't quite do the job.
I don't understand, sir.
Handwriting analysis. Stamps. Oh, if you'll forgive me, it sounds like something out of a magazine my housemate would read. This is the army we're dealing with, not a handful of Bolsheviks. I really need something more conclusive.
The graffiti on the city walls last month, that was them too. We are looking for the paint and the brushes. Would that satisfy you, sir?
Me, Mala? It has nothing to do with me. It's proper procedure. Considering the people involved, if this gets out, it should be an open and shut case. Or it should be quietly dismissed. Listen, Sophie. I'm an understanding man. I have a daughter your age who... Believe me, all young people object to their government at one time or another. In fact, I find it odd when they don't. And then they grow up and
They what?
They grow up. They join society. They get on with their lives. All this talk about high moral action.
Sometimes high moral action is the only way to avoid going mad.
Bullshit! Look, if you'll come clean with me, I'm sure we can arrange things. There are work camps for... What is it?
Nothing. A headache. I get headaches.
Really? I get them too. Here. They can be hereditary, they tell me. Does your father get them? Mine did.
I don't think so.
Sophie, your father's first name was...
Robert?
Oh, yes. Robert. Like me. Do you like him?
Yes.
That's good. Do you have a dog? I have a dog. Bismarck.
A Doberman.
A terrier. Doesn't like anyone but me.
Mine is called Freddie. He's a mutt. He likes everybody. He follows parades. He's quite busy these days.
Yes.
Do you like your job?
I brought your brother's friends,
We have the same friends.
including a Christoph Probst.
Why? Yes, we know Christoph.
We've just arrested a Wilhelm Graf and a Christoph Probst.
No.
Who claims he doesn't know you very well. In fact, Probst claims exclusive responsibility.
He knows nothing about it.
About what, Sophie?
We have made effective contacts in Hamburg, Salzburg, Linz, and Vienna.
Augsburg and Stuttgart this week, too. There is response everywhere.
How much response?
We've got friends at 3 other universities already reproducing, passing on leaflets. That scum will think that this is a nationwide movement. And when we get to the resistance, there's
The
no...
resistance won't come out of hiding just because somebody wrote a few pamphlets.
People are outraged at Stalingrad. All those dead boys, they have families. Men wearing party badges are being attacked in the streets. It's only a matter of time.
I don't know.
Chris, if you don't want to.
Of course I want to. I'm going to be a doctor. I'll be taking an oath about saving lives. What else can I do?
Perhaps nothing. You have a wife and 2 children.
Nothing is not an option.
We'll stop them, Chris. The entire youth of Germany will rise up and send that rabble back to the sewer it crawled out of.
Are we swashbuckling? Is that what we're doing?
Chris, there's nothing like a little swashbuckling to brighten things up, I always say.
Aren't you ever afraid, Alex?
Yes, but they'll never know it when we... If we get caught.
God's on our side. We can't get caught.
Oh, Willie! Do you think of this as some kind of 12th century crusade?
I am a practicing Catholic. I believe in every article of the faith. I cannot even pretend to support National Socialism.
Alex?
Oh, I believe in... I don't know. The Sistine Chapel. Yeah, the Ninth Symphony, Stradivarius.
Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra. I'm taking 2,000 to Frankfurt tomorrow.
Careful on the train.
Always.
What time?
9.
And don't talk to anybody, that way nobody will remember you.
Nobody notices me anyway.
Impossible. You always wear a flower in your hair.
For good luck.
Flowers bring good luck?
It's a well-known fact.
Sophie, your little world is governed by the most mysterious laws.
My world is enormous.
Sophie, would you like to...
Curfew and blackout in 5 minutes.
I have to go. I need the batch for Salzburg.
And I'm going back to Innsbruck tomorrow morning. So I'll take mine now, too.
You don't have to.
I want to.
Does that look all right? They're not too bulky?
For God's sakes, don't drop it.
Remember to put the satchel on an overhead compartment far away from where you're sitting.
Put them near some pig with a party badge.
Right.
And look stupid.
Last time I looked stupid, the SA tried to recruit me.
See you in about a week or so. God willing. Come along, Willie.
Right. Goodbye.
Be careful.
Goodbye. Don't put them all in the same mailbox.
And look carefully all around before you slip them in.
Careful. Funny word for us to use.
And remember, the code.
Right. The chorus of the Beethoven Ninth.
Whistle.
What?
It's got to be whistled. You hear that, you get the hell out. It means they're close.
Christ! I hope you never have to use it.
Well, what shall we do?
Well,
Life
we
is
could
young.
go out.
We have some more printing to do.
What?
Just another couple of thousand. For all.
I want to go out by the river. Cool a bottle of wine in the water. Talk to girls about verses and sonatas and jazz and the moon and all that.
Yes, well, I'd like to go dancing, but we can't do that anymore.
Why not?
There isn't enough time. Let's get to work.
We'll be here all night.
I can't stand it when men whine.
Damn.
Go to the shelter, Sophie. We'll take care of this.
For God's sake, we've got a lot to do. Come on.
It's the RAF. They're just being polite, old boy.
Oh, we don't need polite. I say blast the bastards.
Sophie!
Get away from that window and print.
Who says we have no time? Sophie, did you say you wanted to dance?
What?
This is our time. This is the time we have. Do you want to dance?
There's no music.
Then we'll have to make some.
We've got them. A whole lot of them. Reports are coming in from the second team. We have found the mimeograph, the typewriter, paper, brushes, paint, enough evidence to incriminate an army.
As long as it's not ours, Mom.
The mimeograph and typewriter have been traced to an Alexander Schmarel, a close friend of the Shoals, and also
a medic in the 2nd Student Company.
Why, yes. We have men out looking for him now. Sir, I think we've uncovered a large network of agent provocateurs and underground agitators. Most likely in the pay of foreign powers, they must have connections everywhere.
In a way, I hope you're right, Mulder. Because if this turns out to be the work of a handful of college students...
Then the case will have to be closed immediately.
I quite agree. Get the little bastards off to the front where they belong and out of here so we can do our job.
Oh, no, quite the contrary, sir. Our job is to handle it. Quickly. That's all. Quickly efficiently, so as to not look so terribly foolish.
Hoffman! Well, they're not my problem. I'm signing papers for their immediate transfer to the appropriate military authorities.
Like the previous Munich Gestapo, the Army has had a history of leniency with their own.
What are you doing here at this time of night? Where's Hoffman?
Out sick, sir. Ate something bad.
Get Sophie Scholl back in here. Now, Mao, the civil authorities have no jurisdiction over members of the armed forces. To risk friction between the High Command and the Reich Ministry of Justice at this time would be extremely problematic.
I don't think Berlin wants a military tribunal, sir.
Herr Mahler, I'm a police officer. I don't deal in politics and I don't handle military matters. I have cases of sabotage, arson, air raid looting, war profiteering, and attempted assassination on my hands. Troubled waters stir up scum. I'm after scum. I don't have time to deal with adolescents wailing about the power of the spirit, and I don't clean house for the Wehrmacht. I want these people out of here.
And the girl, sir?
I believe I've made myself clear about the girl. You can go home, Mala. I won't be needing you.
Sir, I'd rather stay.
I don't need you, Heil Hitler! Several of your connections with other universities have been arrested.
Connections? I have school friends. We're not political.
We are at war. That statement is unacceptable.
I don't believe in war.
And that statement can put you in prison for life.
Should I lie to you?
You have been lying to me for 2 days.
I don't know what you mean.
What exactly is your relationship to Christoph Probst, Wilhelm Graf, and Alexander Schmorell?
We study together. We have parties.
Printing parties?
I don't know what you mean.
Do you understand what an accusation of high treason means? What's your relationship to Professor Huber?
Huber?
Kurt Huber, yes.
Oh, I took his course. Introduction to Philosophy.
Did your brother take that course too?
He may have.
You took his course together very recently.
I'd forgotten.
As a matter of fact, all of you have taken that course at one time or another.
He's good.
But a moment ago you had trouble remembering his name.
I don't know what you mean.
That seems to be your favorite statement.
I'm sorry.
What's his particular attraction? Just how good is he? Is he the one that fed you all this cant?
I don't...
Why does he have so many students?
He is an extremely patriotic man. These are hard times. He is adamant about the preservation of German honor.
What's his opinion on the Fuhrer?
He never mentions the Fuhrer in connection to German honor. It's an introductory course. The Greeks and all that. You know, Plato, Socrates.
What about the 17th century?
Some.
Spinoza, for instance.
Spinoza?
The Jew.
Oh, yes. Professor Huber told us we are not to read him.
It seems he spent the better part of a week telling you not to read him. And Sigmund Freud.
He was explaining how dangerous they are.
We know that this Professor Huber has had little soirees to which his favorite pupils were invited and where certain topics were discussed.
I've never heard of them.
I suppose your brother and his friends haven't either.
We don't go to a lot of parties.
But you said you did.
What?
You said you had parties together a moment ago.
I don't...
With your friends. You said you had parties with your friends.
Oh, but not...
But not with the professor, I see.
No.
Not even to discuss the preservation of German honor, whatever that may mean?
You don't know what it means?
It depends on whose terms.
Honor has no terms. It's the one thing in life that's absolute.
Then surely you can explain to me what it is.
I wouldn't presume to explain to a government official what German honor is, or should be.
I wouldn't find it presumptuous. I would find it interesting. Please.
I don't know the difference between personal honor and national honor. Do you?
What about boys, Sophie? Aren't you in love? Are you in love, Sophie? What about your parents? Are you fond of them?
Fond? I wouldn't say fond. Fond is a sentimental notion.
Think very carefully. Could you not have been influenced by the wrong sort of people? Let us say a subversive element in our universities, and misled into doing something the implications of which you did not understand. Students, especially young women, are often impressionable, easily confused. This professor of yours could turn out to be the only one responsible.
I don't understand. But of course I'm a girl, and girls are easily confused.
Don't try to turn the tables on me, Sophie. I'm an old hand at this.
I don't think so.
What?
I think you're rather new at this, and I think you don't like it.
What in... Do you not want to live?
Passionately.
Passion is for the opera, Sophie, not for everyday life.
Too bad for everyday life.
Look, it's time for you to go back to your...
Cell. That word doesn't come easily to you, does it? You must be in the wrong business.
Serving Germany is not a business. It's a privilege.
You love Germany?
Certainly I love Germany.
Because I love Germany, passionately.
Power! Get me Herr Mahler at once.
Yes, sir.
I'll be calling you again.
I expect you will.
Good day.
I wish it were.
God damn it! I want the complete dossier on this case and Colonels Hauser and Dorn on the phone immediately.
Sir, the Reich Ministry of Justice and the High Command have temporarily agreed to suspend restrictions on civil jurisdiction over the military.
At this time of night?
They have been discharged, sir, and turned over to us, the Ministry of Justice. They're already out of uniform, sir.
On whose orders?
Berlin, sir.
Then Berlin can have them.
They would like it handled in Munich, sir.
Would they also like us to tell the nation and the world at large that the armed forces of the Third Reich and the Hitler Youth together have produced an element that publicly calls for the downfall of this government? Because I warn you, the BBC is going to have a field day with this.
That is precisely why they would
This is an army scandal, and they're trying to put it on us.
There will be no scandal, sir.
When the public hears
There will be no public.
Do you imagine we can cover this up?
There is an official news blackout over the case. The People's Court is traveling from Berlin and will be here in 24 hours. The case is set for 10 o'clock Monday morning. Dr. Roland Freisler is presiding. It will go very quickly, sir.
You have been very busy, Mahler.
Thank you, sir. May we expect the indictments first thing in the morning?
The nature of the indictments will depend upon the information collected. And they will be handed over when all of the evidence is in my hands to my satisfaction. Which means that, as all of the allegations seem largely circumstantial at the moment, and are not corroborated except by this Herr Schmidt, I will need something along the lines of a confession.
What?
A confession, Mala, to hand over to the public at some point, should the press in an overzealous attempt to uphold the system commit an indiscretion.
Will there be anything else, sir?
Yes, Mala. All action concerning this case must be initiated or approved by me before it is carried out. I want interrogation to proceed carefully, and all information is to pass through my desk before it is forwarded anywhere else. Under no circumstances should there be any contact with news agencies of any kind, or for that matter, with any other departments of the government unless I decide it's appropriate. That'll be all.
The paper, sir. Will there be anything else, sir?
Half a dozen bookish students and a duplicating machine. A mimeograph. No guns, no weapons, no nitroglycerin, no homemade bombs. They've taken on the Third Reich with an old typewriter, some paper, and a printing machine.
Yes, sir.
Ah, son of a bitch! Dropping the goddamn things all over the... Stupid.
Bad business, sir. When our very own people turn against the Nazis...
Put my car back in the garage. I'm not going home.
Yes, sir.
What the hell is it all about? What difference will it make? What the hell difference will it...
Go!
Shit!
Student riots! Student riots!
Where?
At the university, right now! Let's go! Wait!
What happened?
At the war support rally! The goon they sent to speak to us was more than usually repulsive, and this time he went too far. What? He said, The German university is not a rescue mission for daughters of good upbringing to harbor those who want to evade their duties to their fatherland. It would be better if these female students would focus upon their duties as women and in each academic year present to the Fuhrer a diploma in the form of a healthy baby boy.
What?
I can understand if some girls feel they have to study because they are not pretty enough to find an admirer. But, dear ladies, I can gladly assign you one of my soldiers and promise you a most rewarding experience. All hell broke loose. The girls in the gallery started booing, and they tried to arrest them, and the guys stood up for them. They're throwing SA and Gestapo men out the windows. Took me 10 minutes to get out of there.
And the women started.
Yes, it's great.
A student demonstration.
Yes.
They've done it. Finally.
And we weren't there.
What did I tell you? Come on, let's go.
Wait.
Where are they? Are they inside?
Some have taken to the streets. They're heading for Gestapo headquarters. It's happening. It's really happening.
Riot police!
No!
Shit! What did you expect?
Well, let's go give a hand.
Who in hell? Wait for me.
Well, I'm going outside and take a look.
Alex, don't!
We'll keep a safe distance. If we can do anything, we'll jump in. If not, we won't. I'm not crazy.
Coming.
I can't see anything.
I'm going to get my cloak.
Shit.
What?
The signal again.
What
Whistling.
signal?
The Beethoven.
Again? Who could it be?
They were in a hurry. It was a public phone. I heard the whistling and they hung up.
Somebody wants us to stay away. To stop for a while.
Or we could do something so incredibly bold as to shake the whole nation.
Somebody knows who we are. Somebody inside knows who we are.
Something that would be like a great blaze of light across the sky, calling all the decent people of Germany to action.
There may not be any more decent people left in Germany.
That's not true. Look at today.
It's awfully quiet out there all of a sudden.
People are good. They're just frightened.
Where are they, Sophie? Where are
They were in the streets a moment ago.
A handful, just like us. The rest are silent.
They're waiting.
How in the hell can you be so sure?
Don't you want to find out?
We mustn't commit any desperate acts.
It's over.
They stopped it.
And the students.
They're arresting everybody. And worse.
Who's desperate? Let's get something to eat.
Something else, Hans.
What?
The people. They shut their doors when the riot police went after the students in the streets. Nobody would let them in.
They're scared. They're just scared. They're waiting. How's the new baby?
Chrissy's so pretty.
3 kids now.
3.
Do you know the whereabouts of Alexander Schmorell? There's nothing to be afraid of. I know you're not directly involved.
I have to tell you something.
All you need tell me is where to find Schmorell.
You're very wrong about me.
Stop.
It was...
No, just the others. Tell me about the others.
The others are me!
No.
Isn't that what you wanted? What do you want, Hairmore?
I'm going to give you a chance to reconsider your statement.
Why?
I'm giving you a choice, goddammit.
The moment of choice has passed. I have never felt so alive in my whole life. Nothing will ever feel like that again.
The only way to avoid disappointment is to die young.
They say if you die young, you trick death. You live forever.
You hold yourself in high regard.
I must. God made me.
Then he must have made me too.
It all comes out right in the end.
Really? Why did you call yourselves the White Rose?
Haven't you ever seen one?
A fragile flower, my wife says. Can't keep them longer than a day. That'll be all, thank you.
Where are you off to?
School.
It's Thursday. You don't have classes.
Business.
Thursday. In the middle of the day? That's dangerous. Why?
It's time. They're ready.
You're gonna do this at the university. Hans, that's too close.
Look, that student demonstration was the first public protest in years. They're ready. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen at the university. I know it.
All right, then I'm coming with you.
No.
Why not?
3's too many. We're going to look like a delegation.
Remember we're taking the early Berlin train tomorrow? People are counting on us. If you start something at school...
Will Harnack be at the station?
Yes, we're meeting the others at his apartment. A man called Bonhoeffer, a clergyman, and somebody from the army, and somebody from Italy.
How did he get a passport?
Got himself invited to lecture on Renaissance art?
Contact with the resistance. Finally.
Do we celebrate tonight?
Of course. The studio. Round 8.
Fine, I've got a good bottle of wine. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
We have to go.
Sophie, wait!
What?
Don't go.
What is it?
Just don't go. Stay with me. It's such a beautiful day. Let's go for a walk, huh? We'll feed the pigeons in the plaza. We'll buy you a new ribbon for your hair. We'll read sonnets on a park bench. We'll see a movie, and tonight we'll go dancing. Right. Oh, Sophie, wait. I got something for you. For good luck.
It's going to be a good day.
Alexander Schmerel has just turned himself in, sir. They're all here. We can begin indictment proceedings immediately.
Schaefer wants extensive information. Monday's too soon.
Criminal courtroom 216 is reserved for tomorrow morning.
Provided the indictments are ready.
I beg your pardon.
I said provided the indictments are ready. And I am in charge of the indictments, Mahler. They're not ready.
It's been 4 days now, sir.
Dr. Freisler is going to want a properly documented case.
What?
He's going to need a properly documented case.
Since when?
Come again?
Since when does a people's court require the extensive type of documentation you're referring to?
Herr Mahler, are you officially alleging that Dr. Roland Freisler and the People's Court are in the habit of proceeding without sufficient proof?
What? Of course not.
Then certainly you cannot object to my protecting the court's best interests by providing them with the necessary evidence. That could be considered obstructed. I would be forced to report that sort of thing to my superiors in Berlin.
That's not what I do.
Allied propaganda has it that we're rotting from the inside. Dr. Goebbels doesn't want another army scandal on the front page. And I agree with him, because this can go very wrong if we're not careful.
It is a clear-cut case, sir.
God damn it, you're beginning to sound like those kids, Mahler. Nothing is clear-cut. There's a war going on. Ordinary solutions do not apply. Ordinary measures do not apply. Ordinary thinking does not apply. Now! Bring me that girl again.
Yes, sir.
You start with Schmorell. Damn. Spirit, moral duty, cowardice. Where the hell do they get... What am I supposed to... Tom! Tom! There's no more time.
I understand you have some dreary people called Shull here. I suggest you release them at once if you don't wish to appear too ridiculous. All they know is apple strudel and church. They're from Ulm. I use the studio alone.
They've confessed, Schmerel. You're too late. You see? You didn't have to turn yourself in after all.
Well, all this on the word of a Jakob Schmidt?
If you will sign here, I will take your admission of...
Guilt? A Freudian, huh? Sorry, I'm not signing anything without my father's attorneys present. Has he been contacted, by the way?
You don't really expect all that money to protect you from prosecution and conviction, do you?
Careful, Herr Mahler. That remark reeks of Bolshevism.
Where were you on the morning of February 18th?
What year?
1943.
Why don't you ask the janitor?
Does the name the White Rose mean anything to you?
I'm not all that keen on gardening. The staff does that at home.
You think you're all going to get away with this because you're members of respectable Aryan families, hmm?
I'm half Russian, you know. Who knows what perverted Slavic blood might have seeped into me in the womb.
You consider yourself an outsider.
If you mean someone who becomes the creator of his own world and not a mere inhabitant, you mean an artist. I don't have the talent.
Or a resistance fighter.
German resistance. It's a contradiction in terms.
You know, Schmerel, you're a perfect example of a mind distorted by what you intellectuals like to call culture.
Actually, I prefer running about in skins, grunting and rubbing sticks to make fire. The only difficulty is that the knuckles tend to get a bit raw.
for Germany.
Germany is the Third Reich.
No! She's the Hessian forests. Goethe. Mendelssohn. The sun setting on the Rhine. God.
There is no God.
That may very well be, but there is the idea of God. And like most ideas, it far surpasses reality. As we know it.
My faith expressly forbids all involvement, direct or indirect, with the destruction of any and all human life.
Come on, man. Thousands of Roman Catholics have fought countless wars, slaughtered countless people.
I cannot account for others, sir. I can only answer for myself.
Who was at the head of the so-called White Rose organization?
I am.
Does your faith also allow you to lie?
I would have to discuss that with the Jesuit father.
Are you receiving orders from abroad?
We receive no orders, sir, from anybody.
Where does the money come from?
Our personal allowances from home. That's why the quality of the paper's not so good.
Are you asking me to believe that you did this all by yourselves?
I did it. I set it all up.
How?
How? Well, you know, it wasn't easy.
I see. Why, Graf?
Because there comes a time when you can't continue to be blown about by whatever wind may come your way. One must make a free choice. It's the Christian, human thing to do.
Christian?
Free will. We have it. We must exercise it.
This is all about God?
Or honor. I don't know which. I can't tell them apart.
We are specifically referring to acts of aggression perpetrated against German citizens.
The Reich does not commit acts of aggression against its lawful citizens when they remain within the law. That is Allied propaganda designed to undermine the national morale.
Then what is that large area enclosed in barbed wire and heavily guarded just off the road to Dachau? We happened on it one sunny day on our way home from the front.
No doubt you are referring to a camp for political prisoners and prisoners of war, of which the Allies have several.
And the yellow stars and pink triangles on the uniforms of these prisoners of war? Are they some sort of foreign war decoration?
Where do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to?
Don't make me answer that.
Under whose orders do you act?
Very important people.
Important people.
Very high up.
Foreign agents.
German.
Names.
Friedrich. Schiller. Ludwig. Van. Beethoven. Johannes Brahms. Thomas Aquinas. Heinrich Heine.
You're all full of books, aren't you?
Well, there are worse things to be full of, I dare say.
You talk like a Jew, Schmorell.
That's a relief. I was afraid I was getting a little too Teutonic for what's good for national culture.
Are you somehow under the impression that you're at a debate class at the university?
Nobody in their right mind would confuse Gestapo headquarters with a place of thought.
Schmorell. You are about to face the People's Court on a charge of high treason. Do you know what that means?
It means that we will be tried on little or no evidence. The defense will be public appointed and a sham, and there will be no press. The procedure will be merely a formality and will be convicted and sentenced to death. Tell me, will we be hanged or guillotined?
What is your relationship to Falcarna?
Never heard of him.
To Trout Telafrin?
Don't know her.
To Hans Leichert?
Don't know him.
To Albert Sewer?
Don't know him.
Most of these people have been arrested already. Why don't you cooperate?
I know a Matilda Schwarzkopf.
Why didn't you run away? You're a good alpinist. You could have gone straight over to Switzerland.
I'm not the running away type.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Herr Moore, if you believe Hitler, you believe anything. The war is lost. It will be months before we come to trial and months before the appeals and the final sentence go through. By then, you will be a bad name in history, and the world will know that there were Germans who refused to live dishonorably.
The trial is set for tomorrow morning at 10. No appeals will be allowed, and there'll be no press of any kind.
Who is the presiding judge?
Dr. Roland Freisler, for the People's Court.
Why bother with the trial at all?
I don't know what you mean.
Yes, you do! Freisler is a hanging judge, and the People's Court an indecent travesty.
Dr. Freisler is an outstanding defender of German honor.
Oh, you are so uncomfortable with the truth, Herr Moore.
Oh, what is truth?
Pontius Pilate, John 18.
You have a death wish.
A national German characteristic. I, however, am rabidly attached to life.
You were once in uniform. You've seen thousands of German soldiers die. How can you possibly turn against your country at a time like this?
For the other German dead.
What other German dead?
There are camps. Do you know what happens there?
I have nothing to do with that.
We had neighbors. A family called Nathan. Germans. German nationals, more. In Germany for generations. In fact, you couldn't get much more German than that. But you know something? They've disappeared. And nobody knows where they've gone. I want my neighbors back. Can you do that? Can you find them for me? Because until I see the Nathans again, until I hear their piano, until I see the milk bottles on the doorstep, until I see them turning the lights on in the parlor, until then, I will hold you accountable!
Do you want to disappear with them?
Is
that going to help them?
I want my neighbors back. I want my country back! Give me back my country, you son of a bitch!
I'm finished with the prisoner.
Pigs.
So, you were in foreign employ.
Well,
Yes.
Where is the headquarters of this organization?
In the Black Forest. Deep in the Black Forest.
The Black Forest is rather a large area. Where exactly in the Black Forest?
Behind a woodshed.
Why don't we start at the beginning?
Why? With everything to lose.
For me, I need to know who I am.
We are in the 20th century, in the middle of a world war. That kind of individualism is outdated and out of place.
This is my time, and this is my place.
Tell me, Sophie, these fellow fighters of the resistance, these young Germans, these friends, these brothers that the White Rose kept calling to arms, where are they? Have they answered? Have they come forth? Are they storming our doors to set you free? These German people who, as you say, know the truth and what is decent and right, have you seen them? Have you heard them?
They're afraid.
Yes, of you. People like their heroes nice and simple, Sophie. They like them to drop dead on the battlefield clutching a flag. They like the poor sods who die in their place, by chance, not by choice. They are fondly remembered with deep relief. Thank God it wasn't me. But you, people, good people, won't like you now or later. They'll think you arrogant, overeducated, and dangerous. And your worst enemy will be the honest man who will find that his convictions, because he does have convictions after all, getting in the way of his prosperity, and will think, who the hell did they think they were? 50 years from now, school children in remote parts of the world will know Adolf Hitler, but will never have heard of Sophie Scholl.
I'm afraid. You're afraid. Life is frightening.
Do you imagine that you die for the sake of humanity?
Life and death aren't transferable. They are private affairs.
Oh, yes. Very neat. Very neat. You must have read that somewhere. Because it doesn't ring true. Real. Sounds like literature. Like something clever someone writes so that people can read it. Like the language in those goddamn pamphlets. Well, I don't believe it. Real life doesn't turn out so tidy, so clean. Real life is messier. In real life, somebody else always has to deal with your death. Pick up the pieces, as it were. Clean up.
Nobody is going to have to
Your
clean.
parents, for instance.
What?
Your mother.
What about her?
Think about her. Not in the abstract. Really think about her. What was she wearing the last time you saw her?
I don't...
When you went home. You do go home, don't you, when you're not printing pamphlets? What was she wearing? Answer me! What? I can't hear you.
A blue sweater.
Why?
What?
Why does she wear blue? Does she wear it often?
Yes.
Ah. She likes blue. Why, I wonder? Do you know? Are her eyes blue? Do you even know?
Gray.
What? I can't hear you.
Gray.
Gray. And your father, what's he like? What color are his eyes? Describe him to me. What are they like, these people who are going to have to clean up after you?
I don't...
Why not? After all, he's just a man. Like me.
He is nothing like you. My father is nothing like you.
Do you have his face now? Do you have his face before you, in your mind? Will he survive your death, do you think? And your brothers? Both of you at once? His son, his boy? Does he call him my boy? Fathers do that, you know. Think about him, Sophie. Think hard. Think of them at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner. Think of him shaving. Think of her cooking, ironing her clothes. Did you say she still does your laundry?
I don't.
That's all, thank you.
A bird singing in the dead of winter. It's such a beautiful day. It's so clear. Isn't life magnificent? Herr Moore, I know you're not. I know you're. Do you think is there a way that we might live? Isn't there a little back door? Forgotten crack in the wall, a broken lock, a shattered window, anything that we could slip through. Perhaps nobody would notice.
Fräulein Schrader, I want to dictate a statement for one of the suspects to sign.
Eisenhower told you that?
Yes. Well, not directly.
Through an intermediary?
Yes.
Name?
MacArthur.
General MacArthur?
Corporal MacArthur.
There is a Corporal MacArthur that acts as a go-between.
He also acts as my contact with Wyszynski.
Well, which Wyszynski would that be?
The one in Moscow.
Come in. Don't you ever go home?
We're short-handed, sir. Hoffman's still out. This came for you.
Dr. Freisler's here. Yes, Bauer, you seem to want to say something. If I read your expression correctly, I'm not always sure.
It's that girl, sir.
What about her?
She smuggled a cigarette to prisoner Graf upstairs, sir. She scribbled the word freedom all over it, sir.
Thank you, Bauer. I don't think we'll call out the stormtroopers just yet.
She's also using her water ration for something. A flower, to keep it alive.
I don't have time to listen to drivel.
Well, it's the prison guards, sir. They like them.
What?
Those kids. The guards like them. I don't know why. If you like, we could move them and I could take over.
That won't be necessary, Bauer.
But
that'll
sir,
be all.
Yes, sir.
waste of time! Little shits! There is no organization. All foreign agents. It's a handful of students recruited from some other university, stupid enough to... How in the hell did they do it?
Now, Marla, are we going to run amok here every time a college student and his professor decide to be unhappy with the government?
An attack on the present government endangers the national security of the country.
Oh, these kids are just stupid. If we have people prosecuted for stupidity, we'd have to do away with half the world.
That is not an inconceivable thought!
I am not a public censor. That is not my job. I only deal with criminals. This is really outside my jurisdiction.
There are more. Criminal law is not a fixed thing. It redefines itself with every age. And you are bound by oath to enforce it. I would be happy to accept your resignation and turn it over to the right Ministry of Justice.
Is that why you're here?
I am here to offer you an option! Airmore, why do you find this so difficult?
Do we have a confession from Professor Huber?
Yes. We have his wife and his sister, too. Although I do not think they're involved.
Why don't we round up his 12-year-old daughter while we're at it? After all, we wouldn't want her getting in touch with Churchill and precipitating the downfall of the Third Reich.
Sir?
A joke, Marla. A joke. Don't you people have a sense of humor?
Humor, sir. At a time like this.
What's so different about this time that other times have not seen? Thank you, Marla. That'll be all. Oh, by the way.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I'll let you have the girl.
I beg your pardon.
The girl. You can't have her. We might need her. There'll have to be an official statement sooner or later. She'll be very useful.
Of course, sir. These people Graf, Huber, Scholz, they seem convinced it's just a matter of weeks before the Allies march on Berlin. And I wondered, sir, what would be your opinion on that?
I'm not a military man. I have no opinion on the matter. I'm confident that the Wehrmacht will take care of military strategy appropriately, while we at home worry about internal problems, the handling of which is what we're paid for.
Yes, sir.
And Marla.
Yes, sir.
Never ask me a leading question like that again, or I'll have you arrested for insubordination. I haven't tendered my resignation yet.
No, sir. You haven't.
That'll be all? Talk to me a little. No, just tired. We're all tired. Have you seen Maria today? Good. Oh, yes, it is late, isn't it? The baby? Oh, a new tooth, that's wonderful. Yes, I'll be home tonight. Just a meeting. Tomorrow? Ah, Parsifal. Good. A fairy tale. Of course it's a fairy tale. Don't be silly. No, just a headache. I'm all right. By the way, did you find my pocket watch? What? No, I'll be on time. I'll be on time for dinner. The garden gate. Yes, I know. I've got to fix it. It's not safe. You put things away for safety, you never find them again. Freedom and honor. Christ. Come in.
There's a man outside, sir. Carl Maya, press. Wants to see you about the suspects. He's not sure about the press blackout. He was told that publicity of any kind might delay proceedings, but he does not know where the order came from. Whether it's just local or... It's unclear, so I told him to talk to you, sir. You're the one. You're the chief. What should I say, sir? Should I tell him to leave, sir? Or should he stay?
How much does he know?
With your permission, sir. Perhaps Herr Mahler has been careless. Search parties in students' quarters in the middle of the day, sir. That's not how we do things here in Munich. At least, that's how it looks to me. And it would to other people. After all, sir, you haven't talked to anybody. You haven't even moved from this office. I'm your driver. I'd know.
Put him in one of the private rooms on the other side. Where is she?
Next door.
Bring her in. Have you read this statement?
Yes. This last paragraph here. It says that had I known what the White Rose leaflets were really saying, I wouldn't have contributed.
That's what it says.
Has my brother signed it?
Your brother?
Yes, has he signed it?
Sophie, your brother won't be...
Won't be what?
He's hopelessly incriminated. There's nothing I can...
Looks like you're going to have an early spring this year.
Yes. No! Wait! Please! Listen to me! I can't... All of you, I can't! Please! Will you just... Will you just sign this?
Herr Moore, if my brother dies, I'll have to die with him.
Why?
That seems to be your favorite question. So he wouldn't feel so alone.
No! No! You can't have it all. It can't all go your way. Life just isn't like that. You want everything.
Yes.
You can't. Will you just sign this thing? Tell them you didn't know what you were doing. You'll go to prison for a while.
But that's not true.
I'm sure if you think about
No.
it, you'll see... Look,
No.
Why quarrel with a few words that'll save your life?
My word is all I have.
Is this all about pride?
A little of that, too.
At a time like this?
It only counts at a time like this.
It's possible. There's a chance that Germany might lose the war. All anyone would have to do who doesn't like the present state of things is to keep his mouth shut. Wait it out. Everything passes in time. The Reich ministers of justice and propaganda don't like to exercise extreme measures against young Aryan dissidents who can show that they've been misled.
No! We got them there, didn't we?
Oh, sometimes you sound like your friend Schmorell.
I'd like that.
Why not pretend to go along? Fool everybody. Have the last laugh.
That would mean I was scared of the beast.
Millions of people pretend to go along every day of their lives so they can survive. You think them all beasts?
There are very few beasts. The real damage is done by those millions who want to survive. Those honest men who just want to be left in peace, who don't want their little lives disturbed by anything bigger than themselves. Those with no sides and no causes. Those who won't take the measure of their own strength for fear of antagonizing their own shadows. Those who don't like to make waves or enemies. Those for whom passion, truth, freedom, honor, principles are only literature. Those for whom everything is relative. The excuse of the man with no values. Those who have no absolutes because their souls can't encompass them. Those who live small, mate small, and die small. The reductionist approach to life. If you keep it small, you'll keep it under control. If you don't make any noise, the boogeyman won't find you. And it's an illusion because they die too! Those people who have rolled up their spirits into tiny little balls to hide them under their puny lives to be safe. Safe from what? Life is always on the edge of death. The narrow streets lead to the same places as the big, wide avenues. And the little candles burn themselves out just like the flaming torch. I choose my own way to burn.
Well, what about the rest of us who can't think about burning up? Who have a very hard time just going day to day, surviving.
I don't want to survive. I want to live.
Then sign this thing and tell them you didn't know what you were doing. You've lied to me for days. You can certainly lie to them.
How do you remember who you are, Herr Moore? How do you keep track of your own soul?
The human race only happens to look like this at the moment. Join the human race, so...
Oh, yes, that one. Do something despicable, after all. It's human. I don't want to join you.
I have always done my best.
You haven't done your best. Your best is with your life, and you haven't tried with your life.
I'm like everyone else out there. I'm not God. I'm a civil servant. A simple man with a job. And I can't give it up whenever Because things change. I don't join movements. I don't sign petitions. I don't put my name. My wife signs my Christmas cards. I would do anything to survive. You say that I look the other way. Not really. Most of us are not given clarity of vision in the midst of chaos. That's only possible in extreme youth and extreme belief. Extreme youth lasts a moment.
Then I only want to last that perfect moment.
And extreme belief is something that most of us cannot sustain. Like perfection, it wears off with the years.
It's let go of. Like falling asleep in the snow.
If you don't let go of it, it'll kill you. You look the Gorgon in the face and you die, Sophie. And nothing is worth your life. Nothing. What makes death a victory?
Civilization.
Oh, I am not civilization, goddammit. I am not some disembodied concept. I'm a man. I want to live. I have a family. I want them to live. Grow up. What the hell do you think you're accomplishing? What is it all about?
To remind people.
Of what?
That we make the world, not the other way around.
To what avail, Sophie? To what avail?
It's the right thing to do. It's right.
How in hell do you know what's right so absolutely?
I don't know. It's an instinct. I don't know.
Life is a median thing, Sophie. Those who have to live it, banners flying high in the wind, always end up being tripped by the others. Those who have no room for passion of any kind, the majority, who have their feet planted firm on the ground and their eyes steadily halfway up. Don't make me trip you, Sophie. I'm trying to save your life.
You wouldn't save my brother. You wouldn't save a Jew. You can't save me.
You're not a Jew.
Yes, I am. Today, I am my brother and I am a Jew. You're not trying to save me. You're trying to save yourself.
From what?
You tell me.
Bauer! Bauer! Get this bitch out of here! Here are the indictments. Take them.
Any amendments, sir?
None.
Extenuating circumstances?
None! Take them!
Excuse me, sir. That pressman. Outside. He's waiting. Sir?
No.
Of course, sir. I just thought I'd check with you, sir. I don't do anything without checking.
I love early mornings. I love dancing with a man cheek to cheek. Men's faces, just shaved. A little rough. The scent of tobacco and cologne. I wonder what it would have been like having a child. stalking the tiger in Burma, sailing the high seas on a 20-foot clipper, hearing the Missa Solemnis in St. Stephen's Cathedral, or the bells of Notre Dame at midnight on Christmas Eve. I love the fur on the head of my dog, Freddie. He always smells doggy. I love that. And the smell of coffee, too, and jasmine. I wish I could remember everything I've loved. But there isn't enough time. There is never enough time. Now, I understand that deep stab of pain I have felt whenever I have looked on great beauty. We take leave of everything we love just as we embrace it for the first time. I have never loved life so much. Oh God. My parents.
She stood up to Freisler. Imagine that slip of a girl standing up to Freisler in a trial for her life. Jumped out of her seat and said right to his face, well, somebody had to make a start. Right to his face. And Bauer, you should have seen him. Shrieking about treason and sabotage, all red in the face. But he never looked her in the eye. They were so alone, sitting there in the midst, but not adrift. A sea of uniforms, brown, gray, black, and that screaming judge. And suddenly this terrible voice came from the back of the courtroom. It was a father. Tell that man I'm here to defend my children. A lion looking for his cubs. He looked like a god. I've never seen a man look like that. When they dragged him out, he was shouting, they'll go down in history. They were taken out manacled, and Scholl grabbed the hands of his brother who had pushed his way through the crowd and said, don't give in. In handcuffs, condemned to death, and still fighting. I think I understand. I mean, look at that father. I have a daughter who Will they hang them?
No. They will be guillotined.
They're Germans, Mama. Surely they can be put away somewhere, forgotten?
Forgotten? They haven't happened.
Has the time been set?
This afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Doesn't that strike you as a bit frantic?
No, sir. Efficient.
What shall we do?
Sir?
What?
Do?
No. Where are they?
Stadtlein prison for execution.
Have the parents been alerted?
We don't want to make any more of this than we need to.
We?
Oh, Berlin, sir. Now I have a new list of suspects here. Wittgenstein, Herzl, Schertling.
What are they doing?
Beg pardon?
Those kids, what are they doing?
I don't... They seem uncommonly calm, sir.
Yes. From the beginning, I should have known. A pride of lions. Graceful. Graceful. But with the price of grace these days.
Sir, are you?
Perfectly fine. What else today?
This new list of suspects,
What's the date?
February 22nd.
5 days.
What?
I've only known them 5 days. It's still winter. What a beautiful day. So bright. Such deep colors. Bird on that tree. This office needs painting. Everything is so clear today. Except this picture of me. Third from the left, graduation, police academy. I was 21. It's blurred. Time, decay. I think I need glasses. Everything passes, Mala. Remember that?
Why don't I come back later?
I've got to go to Stadelheim.
What for? You're
I've
finished.
got to get to Stadelheim.
They believed in something. I believe in something else. What has been puzzling me the last few days is that I haven't got the slightest idea of what in hell you believe in more.
Long live freedom.
Believe? Now that's odd vocabulary for the times. I'm a simple man.
It's easier than I thought.
I'm a simple man. If there was ever anything bigger than my simple life, I never saw it. It never spoke to me. I never heard it.
You seem to take particular interest in the girls, sir.
I have a daughter her age. She's a rather bovine creature who waddles through life glassy-eyed and unrousable like most of us. She'll live long and wrinkle late.
God have mercy on my soul.
Have you ever been face to face with passion?
Passion. Would you sign this, sir?
I never signed anything. What is it?
Just a formality, a bill to the families for the use and cleanup of the instrument.
The what?
The blade, sir. Sir. Sir.
Yes.
Now, this new list of suspects, there is no copy of it just yet. One of my agents scribbled it down. There are some 80 suspects here.
Leave it on my desk. Close the office, Bauer. I'm going home early. And Mala, to answer your earlier question, I believe what most of us believe. I believe in trying my best, in getting by. Yes, the most we can ever hope for is to get by. Heroes and demagogues will always shake things up for a while, but if we're clever, we'll still be around when they're gone. After all, there are more of us than there are of them. Long after they've burned up, we'll still be around, just getting by.
Friedrich Schiller, Ludwig van Beethoven, Heinrich Heine.
You mustn't underestimate yourself, sir. People like you are of enormous use to the Reich. Why, we wouldn't be here without you.
I've got to fix my garden gate.
Yes, sir.
What did you think of them, Bauer?
Who, sir?
Those kids, what did you think of them?
Think, sir? I don't know. Cocky little bastards.
Yes. Well, nothing's changed then. Everything remains the same.
Oh, no, sir. The janitor got a medal.
Who?
Schmidt. 3,000 marks.
Yes. It's gone.
Sir?
So quiet. What time is it? I don't have a watch.
5 o'clock, sir.
Good afternoon, Bauer.
This is my time. This is the best of me.
I wonder what's for dinner.
Wittgenstein, Herzl, Schärfling,